Hi guys, Dustin here again. This is my wife Kim.
Hello.
Figured we'd do a little Q&A about the tiny house. Pardon my voice, got a little bit of a cold hanging on still, but as you can see, the snow has melted. There's not a 4-foot drift right here anymore.
So number one question we get asked about the tiny house is, are you warm? We live in Colorado. Right now it is nice and sunny. It's probably like 73 degrees, but it does get pretty chilly. We had some days in the negative 20s. It's very windy here as well. It's probably about the worst thing I hate about Colorado is the wind.
It's windy out here for sure, guys, and actually we might have some wind on the mic there, so we might run inside and shoot some video inside soon too.
But go ahead and answer that. Are we warm in our tiny house?
Yes, we are warm.
Very warm.
We have two different heat sources. One's an electric infrared heater. We pretty much just set that thing at a nice warm temperature and let it work. Then we also have a forced air propane furnace. It's 12 volt for the blower motor, then runs off propane for the heat exchanger obviously. And that thing we set pretty low, and if it gets cold enough for that thing to come on, then it heats up the house in a few minutes. We have no problems whatsoever staying warm. And we got plenty of insulation in the roof and the walls. One of the few places that I wish we had more insulation, I wish we would have done a skirting system or something around the exterior, around the bottom, to help keep some of the heat in. The floors do get a little bit chilly on the corners, and that's not so pleasant, but other than that, that's pretty nice. We've got plenty of hardboard foam up in the roof, and then everything else is packed with R13, so it's pleasant. It's comparable to a normal house. Pros and cons of what we got going on?
Sure.
Okay. I'll go first. I guess one of the pros is we currently don't have a mortgage or any rent. This thing is completely paid for, so that is definitely a pro on my list.
Yeah, definitely a pro. It's allowing us to save up for the house that we're building just down the road. That actually should be starting here in a few weeks. Very excited about that.
Yep.
Do have an electricity bill because it's so tiny. It's really not very high at all.
Yeah, I guess our highest electrical consumption's from like the heated hoses and stuff that run to the house from the outside. And we have a heated hose. It's supposed to be good to negative 40. It seems to be, once it gets to about 6 degrees or lower, it starts to freeze up. So it's not quite as advertised, but you know, it's worked okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's 6 of us total, but we don't all stay in it right now. We've got some arrangements made for the older kids. Well, one of the older kids.
One of the older kids.
So really, 5 of us is still quite a lot of people for a space that's only 8 by 24 feet long. Alright, seems like it's gotten too windy out here, and I'm sure you guys are having a hard time hearing us, so we're going to go inside. So we're inside the tiny house. We also have a tour video of the interior that is also posted on our page, so you can go check that out. What's a con?
We don't really have an entryway. Obviously, there's a door, so there's an entryway. But we don't have anywhere really good to take our shoes off. We did want to build a deck, but again, we're trying to save as much money as we can for our new house. So we decided to just save that money. So yeah, we don't really have a good place to kick off our shoes. So the inside, especially when it's snowing and muddy, gets dirty really fast. We probably sweep like 4 times a day.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. And actually, there's been a lot of comments about that too. That, you know, if we had a mud room or some kind of covered porch out front, that this would be a lot better. I agree with all those comments 100%. I think it is a very necessary thing when you're in a small space to have some sort of outdoor space to take off your shoes and have some storage for outdoor gear, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, we just don't really have it. And, you know, the mud and the snow gets tracked right in the house because there's no concrete or rock. We're on a dirt lot. Well, it'll be grass, but this winter it was dirt. And yeah, it's definitely made a mess out of the inside.
We have learned how to use space well. If you can see this right here behind us, we use a lot of vertical space, and I absolutely love this little organizer thing. It keeps a lot of our kitchen stuff just right here and handy next to the stove, and it works really well for us. Mm-hmm. So learning how to use your space differently is actually, I would say, a really big pro, and it's just going to help us in our other house.
Yeah, and that's actually why we stacked everything up in here. That's why we have 2 bunks on top of each other, also followed by our master loft above those two bunks. You know, stacking upright is the way to go. And this thing is max legal height for towing. I think we're within about 2 inches of the legal limit. Our living room platform is over here. There's plenty of room for even us to stand up there. We're almost 6 feet, so it's plenty of room. And then underneath there's storage. There's room for our toddler to be able to stand up in her room. So really, it's not too bad, and everybody has their own personal space, although it's quite small. It is working for now, and I think if we were to go full time, we would want to build something bigger than this one.
Like we said, we support tiny house living. We really like it. It's just really hard to do with so many kids in such a large range. If just us and I, we definitely could do it.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun to do as well. Something maybe in the future when the kids are grown and out of the house might be a possibility.
Yeah, there's lots of options for the tiny house. You know, I think for a retired couple, it's a very good option, or a young couple just starting off, it's a really good option. Now, there's plenty of people that live full time with their kids in these. I've seen a lot of other YouTubers with their kids living in these things, and it's great. And I think most of them only have 1 or 2 kids, though. You know, with how many kids we have and at the age range that they're in, it's extremely difficult. It hasn't been impossible, and we've had a pretty good winter, but being cooped up inside most of the time, when it's really nasty outside, like the blizzard video that I showed you, it's definitely trying at times. And you know, we're getting through, we're getting by, and it's really not that bad. And now that it's springtime, it's even nicer. We can spend a lot of time outside, and this is just our base of operations. It has everything we need in it, you know, bathroom, kitchen, places to sleep. It's warm. We've got Wi-Fi out here. We've got, you know, an oven, a stove, a microwave, a fridge, TV. Everything that we need is in here. But we're really enjoying the outdoor space. But we're definitely looking forward to, we're actually getting into about an 800 square foot foundation house. And then it'll have 2 bedrooms in the basement as well. So that'll be plenty of room for everybody to have their own bedroom. So we'll have plenty of space for that. But it's not a huge house, you know. Everybody will have their own small space.
So one of the other questions we've had is what we're going to do with the tiny house after our house is finished.
Yep. And we have plenty of options, ranging from keeping it and buying some more land at a more remote location, mountains or something like that. Yeah, we're not sure what we're going to pick, so we're just going to have to wait on that one and see what we feel after the house is done. You know, if we sell it, it'd be to get more stuff done on our new property, some fencing, maybe a small shop, that sort of thing. You know, and if we don't, then it's going to become a vacation home for us, which would make a pretty good vacation home, I think.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Do we have a kitchen? Yes, we have a kitchen. I get that question a lot. Like, can you eat in it? Yeah, we can. 4-burner stove, oven, you know, big sink behind us here. We got food storage. We got a refrigerator. We have a microwave. We do lack the counter space. That would definitely be on my cons list, is lack of counter space, because I do like to cook.
And that's my fault. I wanted a big sink to be able to give the kids a bath, since we don't have a bathtub.
Yeah, so we do have a nice little stand-up shower. Not real practical for the little ones, so we have a really deep, really big sink behind us. It's great for when we're doing baths for the kids, that sort of thing, but we do lack the counter space. And I was going to put in some flip-up little counters in places so we have some prep space, but it just hasn't happened. And as you can see, I still haven't finished the trim and finish work of the house. And we're going to hold off on finishing that until our new house is done, and then I'll probably finish the inside of this one after we're moved out.
Pro, definitely teaching our children some good life lessons. We do not lack things by any means. There's probably quite a few things we could actually still get rid of in this small space, but they're learn to appreciate the stuff that they do have, because they know that, you know, they can only have so much. So even things like taking care of your clothes so that they stay nice, because we don't have a whole lot of room for clothes storage, yep, is a great lesson for them to learn. Working together as a team and making sure things stay clean and picking up. Another pro, we live on my mom's property, so we do get to see them a lot. We get to have family dinners, so that has made us all closer as well. Teaching the older children to cook too has been something that we've kind of been doing while we've been here, trying to teach them that, you know, we're a family and we all need to kind of pitch in.
Yep.
So that's a pro as well.
One of the other cons that you've probably seen some other people, if you've been following the tiny house movement for a while, people in cold climates with tiny houses have major condensation problems. No, we've got a ton of insulation. We also have an exhaust fan in the bathroom that runs whenever the light's on. And we try to use that whenever we're cooking, doing dishes, taking a shower, that sort of thing. Does help keep down on the condensation, but we still have ice forming underneath the windows on really cold days. And there was one time where we actually had some moisture and some condensation on the floor in the corner of the bathroom.
One of the hardest things about tiny house with small kids, especially ours under 1 who does not sleep through the night yet, is he wakes everybody up.
Yeah.
So that's probably been my hardest thing. I work nights, and so obviously I'm not here at night, but then during the day when I'm trying to sleep, of course I can hear them. And then when I am home during the night, he still wakes up 2 to 3 times a night, or the 2-year-old will wake up and then end up waking him up, and it's just kind of a merry-go-round that has been something that's personally been hard for me to adjust to, but we're still doing it. So what has been the hardest thing for you about living in a tiny house?
You know, I'm kind of with you on the lack of sleep. We don't have any doors or anything between our personal spaces, so every little noise everybody hears all the time. Other than that, I've really not enjoyed waking up and not having any water when our hose freezes outside. Makes getting ready for work a little difficult at 5 o'clock in the morning when you don't have running water to clean your coffee pot and go take a shower and that sort of thing. Did get used to taking a shower, you know, right after work when usually the water lines aren't frozen. Yeah, so that's helped a little bit, but looking forward to not having to deal with that.
Yeah, and prepping coffee at night so that we can at least have coffee in the morning when the pipes are frozen.
Yeah, and we also keep about 6 gallons of fresh water underneath the sink. That way we always have some drinking water or water for coffee and that sort of thing in case we do have a couple days of frozen water lines to the house. They always unthaw themselves and they haven't damaged or broken anything. Basically our heated hose isn't quite as good as it stated on the box, but it is working for the most part. It's only when it gets really cold. Like I said, less than 6 degrees is when stuff starts freezing. And other than that, it hasn't been that bad. Cleaning up the mud and stuff after a snowstorm, because it does get pretty muddy. It does get tracked in, even though we take our boots off right at the door and set them on our shoe wall. The rest of the house gets dirty real quick, and it is a small space. So I do recommend, you know, you have exhaust fans for condensation, maybe even some sort of an interior filter. We have a little filter fan on the floor here that just kind of runs most of the time. Kind of pulls some of the junk out of the air, because since the space is so small, there's a lot of stuff in the air.
Especially with the dogs being in the house on the super cold nights, there's hair everywhere in the air.
Hair and dust, and you know, we still have the same amount of laundry that we've always had, so you have cotton fibers and stuff falling off of everything. And you know, in a bigger house that stuff gets spread out and doesn't seem so bad, but in a space this small it adds up in a hurry.
I guess if you guys have any questions for us, leave them in the comments box and we can always answer them in a later episode.
Yeah, if you guys do have any questions, just drop a comment down below. Also, I'd like the chance to thank all our new subscribers that have joined the channel. It really helps us out a lot if you guys share the videos, you subscribe to the channel, and you get that thumbs up button. So we do like the likes, and that does help with YouTube algorithms, help get us out there and promote it a little bit more. It's nice. It's just nice. It's nice. It's very nice.
It's nice to feel the love.
It's nice to feel the love, you guys. So yeah, then we'll be doing lots of other update videos. We'll start shooting some videos of the new house once we get started here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be breaking ground. We'll probably do a tour of the property as well, and check that kind of stuff out. And as always, we'll have some more projects in the shop for you guys. So let me know what you want to see. You know, and your comments are always welcome. So thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. God bless. We'll see you next time.
Bye.